Course 2. Data Analyst Associate, DA-100. Introduction to Microsoft Data Analytics. Before data can be used to tell a story, it must be run through a process that makes it usable in the story. Data analysis is the process of identifying, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover meaningful and useful information. The data is then crafted into a story through reports for analysis to support the critical decision-making process. As the world becomes more data-driven, storytelling through data analysis is becoming a vital component and aspect of large and small businesses. It is the reason that organizations continue to hire data analysts. Data-driven businesses make decisions based on the story that their data tells, and in today's data-driven world, data is not being used to its full potential, a challenge that most businesses face. Data analysis is, and should be, a critical aspect of all organizations to help determine the impact to their business, including evaluating customer sentiment, performing market and product research, and identifying trends or other data insights. While the process of data analysis focuses on the tasks of cleaning, modeling, and visualizing data, the concept of data analysis and its importance to business should not be understated. To analyze data, core components of analytics are divided into the following categories: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, black circle cognitive. Descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics help answer questions about what has happened based on historical data. Descriptive analytics techniques summarize large datasets to describe outcomes to stakeholders. By developing key performance indicators, KPIs, these strategies can help track the success or failure of key objectives. Metrics such as return on investment, ROI, are used in many industries, and specialized metrics are developed to track performance in specific industries. An example of descriptive analytics is generating reports to provide a view of an organization's sales and financial data. Diagnostic analytics. Diagnostic analytics help answer questions about why events happened. Diagnostic analytics techniques supplement basic 35. Descriptive analytics, and they use the findings from descriptive analytics to discover the cause of these events. Then, performance indicators are further investigated to discover why these events improved or became worse. Generally, this process occurs in 3 steps. 1. Identify anomalies in the data. These anomalies might be unexpected changes in a metric or a particular market. 2. Collect data that's related to these anomalies. 3. Use statistical techniques to discover relationships and trends that explain these anomalies. Predictive analytics. Predictive analytics help answer questions about what will happen in the future. Predictive analytics techniques use historical data to identify trends and determine if they're likely to recur. Predictive analytical tools provide valuable insight into what might happen in the future. Techniques include a variety of statistical and machine learning techniques such as neural networks, decision trees, and regression. Black circle prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics help answer questions about which actions should be taken to achieve a goal or target. By using insights from prescriptive analytics, organizations can make data-driven decisions. This technique allows businesses to make informed decisions in the face of uncertainty. Prescriptive analytics techniques rely on machine learning as one of the strategies to find patterns in large datasets. By analyzing past decisions and events, organizations can estimate the likelihood of different outcomes. Cognitive analytics. Cognitive analytics attempt to draw inferences from existing data and patterns, derive conclusions based on existing knowledge bases, and then add these findings back into the knowledge base for future inferences, a self-learning feedback loop. Cognitive analytics help you learn what might happen if circumstances change and determine how you might handle these situations. Inferences aren't structured queries based on a rules database. Rather, they're unstructured hypotheses that are gathered from several sources and expressed with varying degrees of confidence. Effective cognitive analytics depend on machine learning algorithms and will use several natural language processing concepts to make sense of. 36. Previously untapped data sources, such as call center conversation logs and product reviews. 2. Prepare data for analysis. Your manager wants to see a report on your latest sales and profit figures by the end of the day. But the latest data is in files on your laptop. In the past, it's taken hours to create a report, and you're beginning to feel anxious. With Power BI, you can create a stunning report and share it in Microsoft Teams in no time. Here, we upload an Excel file, create a new report, and share it with colleagues in Microsoft Teams, all from within Power BI. You'll learn how to prepare your data in Excel, download sample data, build a report in the Power BI service, black circle pin the report visuals to a dashboard, black circle share a link to the dashboard, share the dashboard in Microsoft Teams. Prerequisites. Black circle sign up for the Power BI service. Download the financial sample workbook and save it your computer or to OneDrive for business. Practical. Prepare data in Excel. Let's take a simple Excel file as an example. 1. Before you can load your Excel file into Power BI, you must organize your data in a flat table. In a flat table, each column contains the same data type, for example, text, date, number, or currency. Your table should have a header row, but not any columns or rows that display totals. 1. Next, format your data as a table. In Excel, on the Home tab, in the Styles group, select Format as Table. 2. Select a table style to apply to your worksheet. Your Excel worksheet is now ready to load into Power BI. 3. Upload your Excel file to the Power BI service. The Power BI service connects to many data sources, including Excel files that live on your computer. 3. To get started, sign in to the Power BI service. If you haven't signed up, you can do so for free. 2. In My Workspace, select New, upload a file. 1. Select Local File, browse to where you saved the financial sample. Excel file, and select Open. 2. On the local file page, select Import. Now you have a financial sample dataset. Power BI also automatically created a blank dashboard. If you don't see the dashboard, refresh your browser. My Workspace. Plus New. All. Content. Datasets, data flows. To-array. Name. Financial sample. Financial sample. XLSX. Dashboard. 3. You want to create a report. Still in My Workspace. Select New greater than Report My Workspace plus New Report Visualize your data. Paginated report Build a paginated report. Dashboard Build a single-page data story. Dataset Create a dataset to use in a report. Streaming dataset. 2. Boo. 4. In the selected dataset to create a report dialog box, select your Build visuals from real-time data. Upload a file. Open a PBIX.RDL, XLSX, or .CSV in PO. Financial sample dataset. Create. Select a dataset to create a report. All. My datasets. This workspace. Recent. Name. Endorsement. Search. Owner. Workspace. Refreshed. Financial sample. ModAdmin. My workspace. September 13, 21, 5 hours 24 minutes and 10 seconds Build your report. The report opens in editing view and displays the blank report canvas. On the right are the visualizations, filters, and fields panes. Your Excel workbook table data appears in the fields pane. At the top is the name of the table, Financials. Under that, Power BI lists the column headings as individual fields. You see the sigma symbols in the fields list? Power BI has detected that those fields are numeric. Power BI also indicates a geographic field with a globe symbol. Search. Financials. PC COGS. Country. Date. Discount band. To have more room for the report canvas, select Hide the navigation pane and minimize the filters pane. 41. Now you can begin to create visualizations. Let's say your manager wants to see profit over time. In the Fields pane, drag profit to the report canvas. By default, Power BI displays a column chart with one column. Black circle drag date to the report canvas. Black circle Power BI updates the column chart to show profit by date. December 2014 was the most profitable month. 4. Model data in Power BI. Often, you'll connect to multiple data sources to create your reports. All that data needs to work together to create a cohesive report. Modeling is how to get your connected data ready for use. Tasks in this module. Create relationships between your data sources. Create a new field with calculated columns. 43. Optimize data by hiding fields and sorting visualization data. Create a measure to perform calculations on your data. Use a calculated table to create a relationship between two tables. Black circle format time-based data so that you can drill down for more details. 1. Create relationships between your data sources. Model view. Spilly Proti. Power BI desktop. Power BI service. Fig. Create relationships between your data sources. 2. Create a new field with calculated columns. Svataprot. Power BI desktop. Power BI service. Fig. Create a new field with calculated columns. 3. Optimize data by hiding fields and sorting visualization data. See Power BI Desktop. Power BI Service. Fig. Optimize data by hiding fields and sorting visualization data. 4. Create a measure to perform calculations on your data. Transformed data. Input field. New measure. C. Power BI Desktop. Power BI Service. Fig. Create a measure to perform calculations on your data. 5. Use a calculated table to create a relationship between two tables. New table. Power BI Desktop. Power and Service. Fig. Use a calculated table to create a relationship between two tables. 6. Format time-based data so that you can drill down for more details. Years. Quarter. Months. Hensel Mobile Apu. Days. A. Create reports. Power BI Service. Fig. Format time-based data so that you can drill down for more details. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI, you can create a relationship to create a logical connection between different data sources. A relationship enables Power BI to connect tables to one another so that you can create visuals and reports. This module describes data-centric relationships and how to create relationships when none exists. 5. Visualize data in Power BI. Visualizations are used to effectively present your data and are the basic building blocks of any business intelligence tool. Power BI contains various default data visualization components that include simple bar charts to pie charts to maps, and also complex models such as waterfalls, funnels, gauges, and many other components. Visualizations. Fields greater than 46. In Power BI, you can create visualization in two ways. First is by adding from the right side pane to Report Canvas. By default, it is the table type visualization, which is selected in Power BI. Another way is to drag the fields from right sidebar to the axis and value axis under visualization. You can add multiple fields to each axis as per the requirement. In Power BI, it is also possible to move your visualization on the reporting canvas by clicking and then dragging it. You can also switch between different type of charts and visualizations from the visualization pane. Power BI attempts to convert your selected fields to the new visual type as closely as possible. Creating map visualizations. In Power BI, we have two types of map visualization: bubble maps and shape maps. If you want to create a bubble map, select the map option from the visualization pane. 47. Visualizations. Field. Location. To use a bubble map, drag the map from visualizations to the report canvas. To display values, you have to add any location object to the axis. Visualizations. Drag photo fold. Page 1. In the value fields, you can see that it accepts values axis such as city and state, or you can also add longitude and latitude values. To change the bubble size, you need to add a field to the value axis. You can also use a filled map in data visualization, just by dragging the filled map to the report canvas. 48. Note: if you see a warning symbol on top of your map visualization, it means that you need to add more locations to your map chart. Using combination charts. In data visualization, it is also required to plot multiple measures in a single chart. Power BI supports various combination chart types to plot measure values. Let us say you want to plot revenue in units sold in one chart. Combination charts are the most suitable option for these kinds of requirement. One of the most common combination charts in Power BI is line and stacked column charts. Let us say we have a revenue field and we have added a new data source that contains customer-wise unit quantity, and we want to plot this in our visualization. R9. Load. Citing connection and model. 49. Once you add a data source, it will be added to the list of fields on the right side. You can add units to the column axis as shown in the following screenshot. Page 1. You have other type of combined chart that you can use in Power BI, line and clustered column. Visualizations. Terrain. Using tables. In Power BI, when you add a dataset to your visualization, it adds a table chart to the report canvas. You can drag the fields that you want to add to the report. You can also select the checkbox in front of each field to add those to the report area. 50. The bottom. With the numerical values in a table, you can see a sum of values at Visualizations. RO. Avenue. Prod A. You can also perform a sort in the table using an arrow key at the top of the column. To perform ascending, descending sort, just click the arrow mark, and the values in the column will be sorted. The order of the columns in a table is determined by the order in the value bucket on the right side. If you want to change the order, you can delete any column and add the other one. R. Sheetal. Cust_id cust_name. Prod ID. 17 Product C. Values. Sheet 1, 2. Prod name. Prod ID. Cust_name. Prod name. Revenue. Sheet 1, 3. Units. Prod ID. Quarter. Filters. Revenue. Visual level filters. Year. Sheet 1, 4. Cust_name, all. Cust ID. Prod_name, all. Units. Revenue, all. Table Cust C. Units, all. Cust ID. You can also undo, summarize, or apply different aggregate function on numerical values in the table. To change the aggregation type, click the arrow in the value bucket in front of the measure and you will see a list of formulas that can be used. Visualizations. Remove field. 5. Rename. Conditional formatting. Don't summarize. R. Sum. Average. Minimum. Maximum. Values. Count, distinct. Count. Prod name. Standard deviation. Cust_name. Variance. Revenue. Median. Units. Show value as 52H. Another table type in Power BI is the matrix table that provides a lot of features such as auto sizing, column tables, and setting colors, etc. Prod name. Units. Revenue. Tablet. 15,000. 20,000. 14,000. Samsung Gal. Lenovo Tab. 90. 20. 10. iPad. 25,000. 10,000. 84,000. Modify colors in charts. 20. 110. 250. Total. In Power BI, you can also modify the colors in the chart. When you select any visualization, it has an option to change the color. Following options are available under the Format tab. Legend. Data colors. Detail label. Title. Background. Lock aspect. Black circle border. General. To open these options, go to the Format tab as shown in the following screenshot. Once you click, you can see all the options available. Visualizations. Checkmark Lock Spect. When you expand the legend field, you have an option where you want to display the legend. You can select Position, Black circle title, Black circle legend name, Color, Black circle text size, Font family, Caret legend, Position, Title, Top, On, L, On. Similarly, you have data colors. In case you want to change the color of any data field, you can use this option. It shows all objects and their corresponding colors in the chart. Legend. On. Data colors. Tablet. Samsung Galaxy. Lenovo Tab. iPad. Blank. Revert to default. Theme colors. Detail labels. Title. You also have Analytics feature in the tool, where you can draw lines as per requirement in data visualization. You have the following line types in data visualization. Constant line. Min line. Max line. Average line. Black circle median line. Black circle percentile line. Constant. You can opt for a dashed, dotted, or a solid line. You can select transparency level, color, and position of the line. You can also switch on/off data label for this line. Adding shapes, images, and text box. Sometimes it is required that you need to add static text, images, or shapes to your visualization. In case you want to add header, footer, or any static signatures, messages to data visualization, this option can be used. You can also add URLs in the text box, and Power BI uses those links to make it live. To add shapes, images, and text box, navigate to the Home tab, and at the top you will find an option to add images. Cust Prod and you can insert different shapes in data visualization. To see the available shapes, click the arrow next to the Shapes button. When you click on the text box, it adds a text box in your report canvas. You can enter any text in the text box and use the rich text editor to make formatting changes. Similarly, images can be added to data visualization to add logos or other images to data visualization. When you click the image option, it asks for a path to pass the image file. You can add shapes by selecting any shape from the drop-down list. You can also resize it using different options. Styling reports. In Power BI, you have flexible options to adjust the page layout and formatting, such as orientation and page size of your report. Navigate to Page View menu from the Home tab, and the following options are provided. Black circle fit to page. Black circle fit to width. Actual size. By default, the page size in a report is 16:9. However, it is also possible to change the page size of the report. To change the page size, navigate to the visualization pane and select Paintbrush. Note: to change page size, no visualization should be added to the report canvas. You have the following options available under Page Layout. Black circle page information. Page size. Black circle page background. Under Page Information, you have Name and Q&A. Under Page Size, you can select from the following options. Black circle type. Black circle width. Height. Page information. Color. Black circle transparency, add image. A page background. Color. Transparency. 0%. Plus add image. Revert to default. Duplicating reports. In some scenarios, you may want to use the same layout and visuals for different pages. Power BI provides an option to create a copy of the page. When you use Duplicate Page option, a new page is added with similar layout and visuals. To duplicate a page, right-click the page and select Duplicate Page option. This will create a copy of the same page with the name, Duplicate of Page 1. Duplicate page. Rename page. Page. Delete page. Of 2. 5. Data analysis in Power BI. Microsoft Power BI is the leading data analytics, business intelligence and reporting tool in Gartner's latest Magic Quadrant. Beyond the opinion of a leading global technology consulting company, Power BI is also one of the most widely used data analytics tools by professionals because of its business approach. The tool enables data scientists and analysts to turn data sets into engaging, interactive and insight-enhancing reports, dashboards and visuals used to monitor the course of business strategies. Power BI allows us to develop customized solutions for each of our customers. Data analytics with Power BI promotes the discovery of information and the democratization of data through its unique data visualization capabilities that improve the quality of companies' informative systems and help executives make data-driven decisions. Power BI streamlines data analysts' work and makes it easy to connect, transform, and visualize data. Nevertheless, there are many other similar tools on the market. For example, Excel, also by Microsoft, is another essential tool for data experts. In fact, using Excel and Power BI together is very common. Important reasons why you should do data analytics with Power BI. 1. Data connection. One of Power BI's greatest advantages is its extensive data connectivity. The tool connects to multiple tabular databases and integrates with a host of corporate tools and systems to make importing and exporting data, dashboards, and reports as simple and fast as possible. 2. Data visualization. Power BI is one of the most complete platforms for data visualization. In the Tools app source you will find a lot of Power BI visuals validated by Microsoft, but you can also create your own custom visuals. In addition, Power BI adds new visuals from time to time, and you can even extend its visualization capabilities with Zebra BI, which works both for Excel and Power BI. 3. Data visualization. Power BI is one of the most complete platforms for data visualization. In the Tools app source you will find a lot of Power BI visuals validated by Microsoft, but you can also create your own custom visuals. In addition, Power BI adds new visuals from time to time, and you can even extend its visualization capabilities with Zebra BI, which works both for Excel and Power BI. 4. Advanced analytics. Power BI is the optimal platform for increasing the value of your regular Excel data analysis with advanced analytics. You can enrich business data by ingesting, transforming and integrating data services to other Microsoft Suites tools. 5. Data governance. For anyone who works with data, data governance is a must to ensure the smooth running of any type of process, especially in the business environment, since organizations often have a large amount of data that, when not well organized, can lose all its value. Power BI includes features that support data control, authority and management. However, the tool has limited data governance capabilities, and some organizations require specialized data governance solutions to work with Power BI. Find out how you can apply data governance policies to Power BI. With Power BI Viewer, you can organize your reports by category, assign permissions according to user's role, access all your reports without having a Power BI license, and much more. With Power BI Analytics, you will be able to analyze the activity of all your users with a historical repository with no space or time limits. 6. Data exploration. Power BI contains extensive data exploration options as well as automated queries. With this tool, discovering insights from data will be much easier. It is also the ideal platform for working with a top-down methodology. 7. UX and UI. Finally, it should be noted that Power BI was conceived as an enterprise tool designed to be used by business users. Clearly, its main users are data analysts and BI consultants. However, the business conception of the platform makes it one of the BI tools with the best usability and user interface. In addition, with Power BI you can adapt your reports to your brand image and automate the process by designing themes that can be applied to all your reports. 8. Manage workspaces and datasets in Power BI. Workspaces are places to collaborate with colleagues to create collections of dashboards, reports, datasets, and paginated reports. Here we describe how to manage, access, and how to use them to create and distribute apps. Creating a workspace. Plus 63. Working with workspaces. Here are some useful tips about working with workspaces. Use granular workspace roles for flexible permissions management in the workspaces: admin, member, contributor, and viewer. Black circle contact list. Specify who receives notification about workspace. Activity. Create template apps. You can create template apps in workspaces. Template apps are apps that you can distribute to customers outside of your organization. Those customers can then connect to their own data with your template app. Share datasets. You can share datasets between workspaces. Workspace contact list. The contact list feature allows you to specify which users receive notification about issues occurring in the workspace. By default, any user or group specified as a workspace admin in the workspace is notified. You can add to that list. Users or groups in the contact list are also listed in the user interface. UI of the workspaces, so workspace end users know whom to contact. Create a workspace in Power BI. Here, we discuss how to create workspaces, spaces to collaborate with colleagues. In them, you create collections of dashboards, reports, and paginated reports. If you want, you can also bundle that collection into an app and distribute it to a broader audience. Customer profitability. At Settings, About, create a workspace. 1. Select Workspaces, create workspace. 65. B. Create a workspace. 2. Give the workspace a unique name. If the name isn't available, edit it to come up with a name that's unique. When you create an app from the workspace, by default it will have the same name and icon as the workspace. You can change both when you create the app. 3. Here are some optional settings for your workspace. Black circle. Upload a workspace image. Files can be .png or .jpg format. File size has to be less than 45 kilobytes. Specify a workspace OneDrive to use a Microsoft 365 group file storage. Location, provided by SharePoint. Add a contact list, the names of people to contact for information about the workspace. By default, the workspace admins are the contacts. Black circle. Allow contributors to update the app for the workspace. Black circle. Assign the workspace to a premium capacity. Connect the workspace to an Azure Data Lake Gen 2 storage account in Preview. 4. Select Save. Power BI creates the workspace and opens it. You see it in the list of workspaces you're a member of. Microsoft 365 and OneDrive. Power BI doesn't create a Microsoft 365 group behind the scenes when you create a 66. Workspace. All workspace administration is in Power BI. Still, you might find it useful to have a OneDrive associated with the workspace. You can manage user access to content through Microsoft 365 groups if you want. You add a Microsoft 365 group in the Workspace Access list. Power BI doesn't synchronize between Microsoft 365 group membership and permissions for users or groups with access to the workspace. You can synchronize them. Manage workspace access through the same Microsoft 365 group whose file storage you configure in this setting. You can also store Power BI content in OneDrive for Business. With the Workspace OneDrive feature in Workspaces, you can configure a Microsoft 365 group whose SharePoint document library file storage is available to Workspace users. You create the group outside of Power BI. Note: Power BI lists all Microsoft 365 groups that you're a member of in the Workspaces list. Roles and licenses. Roles let you manage who can do what in Workspaces, so team members can collaborate. To grant access to a workspace, assign those user groups or individuals to one of the workspace roles: admin, member, contributor, or viewer. Black circle. Licensing enforcement. Publishing reports to a workspace enforces existing licensing rules. Users collaborating in workspaces or sharing content to others in the Power BI service need a Power BI Pro or Premium per user (PPU) license. Users without a Pro or PPU license see the error. Only users with Power BI Pro licenses can publish to this workspace. Read-only workspaces. The viewer role in Workspaces gives users read-only access to the content in a workspace. 67. Users without a Pro or Premium per user (PPU) license can access a workspace if the workspace is in a Power BI Premium capacity, but only if they have the viewer role. Allow users to export data. Even users with the viewer role in the workspace can export data if they have build permission on the datasets in that workspace. Assign user groups to workspace roles. You can add Active Directory, security groups, distribution lists, or Microsoft 365 groups to these roles. For easier user management. Administering and auditing workspaces. Administration for workspaces is in the Power BI Admin portal. Power BI admins decide who in an organization can create workspaces and distribute apps. Admins can also see the state of all the workspaces in their organization. They can manage, recover, and even delete workspaces. Auditing. Power BI audits the following activities for workspaces: friendly name, operation name, created Power BI folder, deleted Power BI folder, create folder, delete folder, updated Power BI folder, update folder, updated Power BI folder access, update folder access. Considerations and limitations. Limitations to be aware of. Workspaces can contain a maximum of 1,000 datasets or 1,000 reports per dataset. 68. Power BI Publisher for Excel isn't supported. Black circle. Certain special characters aren't supported in workspace names when using an XMLA endpoint. As a workaround, use URL encoding of special characters, for example, for a /, use %2f. 5. Key Influencers Visualizations Tutorial, Power BI. The Key Influencers visual helps you understand the factors that drive a metric you're interested in. It analyzes your data, ranks the factors that matter, and displays them as key influencers. For example, suppose you want to figure out what influences employee turnover, which is also known as churn. One factor might be employment contract length, and another factor might be commute time. When to use key influencers. The Key Influencers visual is a great choice if you want to see which factors affect the metric being analyzed. Black circle contrasts the relative importance of these factors. For example, do short-term contracts affect churn more than long-term contracts? Features of the Key Influencers visual. Tabs. Select a tab to switch between views. Key influencers show you the top contributors to the selected metric value. Top segments show you the top segments that contribute to the selected metric value. A segment is made up of a combination of values. For example, one segment might be consumers who have been customers for at least 20 years and live in the West region. 2. Drop-down box. The value of the metric under investigation. In this example, look at the metric rating. The selected value is low. 3. Restatement. It helps you interpret the visual in the left pane. 4. Left pane. The left pane contains one visual. In this case, the left pane shows a list of the top key influencers. 5. Restatement. It helps you interpret the visual in the right pane. 6. Right pane. The right pane contains one visual. In this case, the column chart displays all the values for the key influencer theme that was selected in the left pane. The specific value of usability from the left pane is shown in green. All the other values for theme are shown in black. 7. Average line. The average is calculated for all possible values for theme except usability, which is the selected influencer. So, the calculation applies to all the values in black. It tells you what percentage of the other themes had a low rating. In this case 11.35% had a low rating, shown by the dotted line. 8. Checkbox filters out the visual in the right pane to only show values that are influencers for that field. In this example, the visual is filtered to display usability, security, and navigation. Analyze a metric that is categorical. Here, we learn how to create a key influencer visual with a categorical metric. Then follow the steps to create one. 1. Your product manager wants you to figure out which factors lead customers to leave negative reviews about your cloud service. To follow along in Power BI Desktop, open the Customer Feedback PBIX file. 2. Under Build Visual on the Visualizations pane, select the key Influencers icon. 3. Move the metric you want to investigate into the Analyze field. To see what drives a customer rating of the service to be low, select Customer Table Rating. 4. Move fields that you think might influence rating into the Explain By field. You can move as many fields as you want. In this case, start with Country Region, Black Circle Role in Org, Subscription Type, Company Size, Black Circle Theme. 5. Leave the Expand By field empty. This field is only used when analyzing a measure or summarized field. 6. To focus on the negative ratings, select Low in the What Influences Rating to be drop-down box. Each customer has given either a high score or a low score. All the explanatory factors must be defined at the customer level for the visual to make use of them. In this case, each customer assigned a single theme to their rating. Similarly, customers come from one country, have one membership type, and hold one role in their organization. The explanatory factors are already attributes of a customer, and no transformations are needed. The visual can make immediate use of them. Interpret categorical key influencers. Let's take a look at the key influencers for low ratings. The list on the left. By selecting Role in Org as Consumer, Power BI shows more details in the right pane. The comparative effect of each role on the likelihood of a low rating is shown. Black Circle 14.93% of consumers give a low score. On average, all other roles give a low score 5.78% of the time. Consumers are 2.57 times more likely to give a low score compared to all other roles. You can determine this score by dividing the green bar by the red dotted line. Second single factor that influences the likelihood of a low rating. The key influencer's visual compares and ranks factors from many different variables. The second influencer has nothing to do with Role in Org. Select the second influencer in the list, which is Theme is Usability. Key influencers. Customers review. Customers who commented about the usability of the product were 2.55 times more likely to give a low score compared to customers who commented on other themes, such as reliability, design, or speed. Between the visuals, the average, which is shown by the red dotted line, changed from 5.78% to 11.35%. The average is dynamic because it's based on the average of all other values. For the first influencer, the average excluded the customer role. For the second influencer, it excluded the usability theme. Select the Only Show Values that are Influencers checkbox to filter by using only the influential values. In this case, they're the roles that drive a low score. 12 themes are reduced to the 4 that Power BI identified as the themes that drive low ratings. Key Influencers visual reruns its analysis on the new portion of data. For example, you can move company size into the report and use it as a slicer. Use it to see if the key influencers for your enterprise customers are different than the general population. An enterprise company size is larger than 50,000 employees. Select greater than 50,000 to rerun the analysis, and you can see that the influencers changed. For large enterprise customers, the top influencer for low ratings has a theme related to security. You might want to investigate further to see if there are specific security features your large customers are unhappy about. Company size. Less than 5.00. Factors such as age, height, and price in the Explain By field. Let's look at what happens when tenure is moved from the customer table into Explain By. Tenure depicts how long a customer has used the service. As tenure increases, the likelihood of receiving a lower rating also increases. This trend suggests that the longer-term customers are more likely to give a negative score. This insight is interesting, and one that you might want to follow up on later. The visualization shows that every time tenure goes up by 13.44 months, on average the likelihood of a low rating increases by 1.23 times. In this case, 13.44 months depict the standard deviation of tenure. So, the insight you receive looks at how increasing tenure by a standard amount, which is the standard deviation of tenure, affects the likelihood of receiving a low rating. The scatter plot in the right pane plots the average percentage of low ratings for each value of tenure. It highlights the slope with a trend line. Key influence. Variables isn't linear. We can't describe the relationship as simply increasing or decreasing. We run correlation tests to determine how linear the influencer is with regard to the target. If the target is continuous, we run Pearson correlation, and if the target is categorical, we run point biserial correlation tests. If we detect the relationship isn't sufficiently linear, we conduct supervised binning and generate a maximum of 5 bins. To figure out which bins make the most sense, we use a supervised binning method that looks at the relationship between the explanatory factor and the target being analyzed. Interpret measures and aggregates as key influencers. You can use measures and aggregates as explanatory factors inside your analysis. For example, you might want to see what effect the count of customer support tickets or the average duration of an open ticket has on the score you receive. In this case, you want to see if the number of support tickets that a customer has influences the score they give. Now you bring in support ticket ID from the support ticket table. Because a customer can have multiple support tickets, you aggregate the ID to the customer level. Aggregation is important because the analysis runs on the customer level, so all drivers must be defined at that level of granularity. Let's look at the count of IDs. Each customer row has a count of support tickets associated with it. In this case, as the count of support tickets increases, the likelihood of the rating being low goes up 4.08 times. The visual on the right shows the average number of support tickets by different rating values evaluated at the customer level. 78. Key influencers top segments. What influences rating to be low? The likelihood of rating being low increases by when support ticket ID goes up. 2.53. On average, when support ticket ID increases, the likelihood of rating being low increases. Role in org is consumer. 257%. Theme is usability. 2.55x. High. Theme is security. 20x. Subscription type is Premier. Company size is 5,000. Country region is France. 1.44. There is navigation. 1.20%. Of support ticket Dover Cunt. Interpret the results. Top segments. You can use the Key Influencers tab to assess each factor individually. You also can use the Top Segments tab to see how a combination of factors affects the metric that you're analyzing. Top segments initially show an overview of all the segments that PowerBuy discovered. The following example shows that 6 segments were found. These segments are ranked by the percentage of low ratings within the segment. Segment 1, for example, has 74.3% customer ratings that are low. The higher the bubble, the higher the proportion of low ratings. The size of the bubble represents how many customers are within the segment. 79. Key influencers. Top segments. When is rating more likely to be low? We found 6 segments and ranked them by 9% rating is low in population size. Select a seg. 74.3%. 53.7%. 35.3%. Segment 1 10-13. Segment 2. Segment 3. 47.2%. Segment 4. Segment 5. Segment 6. 1956. 193%. Population count. 743%. 53.7%. 2267. 513%. 3535-2654. Selecting a bubble displays the details of that segment. If you select segment 1, for example, you find that it's made up of relatively established customers. They've been customers for over 29 months and have more than 4 support tickets. Finally, they're not publishers, so they're either consumers or administrators. In this group, 74.3% of the customers gave a low rating. The average customer gave a low rating 11.7% of the time, so this segment has a larger proportion of low ratings. It's 63 percentage points higher. Segment 1 also contains approximately 2.2% of the data, so it represents an addressable portion of the population. Adding counts. Sometimes an influencer can have a significant effect but represent little of the data. For example, Theme is Usability is the 3rd biggest influencer for low ratings. However, there might have only been a handful of customers who complained about usability. Counts can help you prioritize which influencers you want to focus on. 80. After counts are enabled, you'll see a ring around each influencer's bubble, which represents the approximate percentage of data that influencer contains. The more of the bubble the ring circles, the more data it contains. We can see that theme is usability contains a small proportion of data. You can also use the sort by toggle in the bottom left of the visual to sort the bubbles by count first instead of impact. Subscription type is Premier as the top influencer based on count. Having a full ring around the circle means the influencer contains 100% of the data. You can change the count type to be relative to the maximum influencer using the count type dropdown in the analysis card of the formatting pane. Now the influencer with the most amount of data will be represented by a full ring and all other counts will be relative to it. If you move an unsummarized numerical field into the Analyze field, you have a choice how to handle that scenario. You can change the behavior of the visual by going into the formatting pane and switching between categorical analysis type and continuous analysis type. A categorical analysis type behaves as described above. For instance, if you were looking at survey scores ranging from 1 to 10, you could ask, what influences survey scores to be 1? A continuous analysis type changes the question to a continuous one. In the example above, our new question would be, what influences survey scores to increase, decrease? This distinction is helpful when you have lots of unique values in the field you're analyzing. In the example below, we look at house prices. It isn't meaningful to ask, what influences house price to be 156,214? As that is very specific and we're likely not to have enough data to infer a pattern. Instead, we may want to ask, what influences house price to increase? Which allows us to treat house prices as a range rather than distinct values. Key influencers. Top segments. What influences house price to increase? Interpret the results. Key influencers. In this scenario, we look at what influences house price to increase. A number of explanatory factors could impact a house price like year built, year the house was built, kitchen quality, and remod, year the house was remodeled. In the example below, we look at our top influencer, which is kitchen quality being excellent. The results are similar to the ones we saw when we were analyzing categorical metrics with a few important differences. The column chart on the right is looking at the averages rather than percentages. It therefore shows us what the average house price of a house with an excellent kitchen is, green bar, compared to the average house price of a house without an excellent kitchen, dotted line. The number in the bubble is still the difference between the red dotted line and green bar, but it's expressed as a number, $158,490, rather than likelihood, 1.93x. So, on average, houses with excellent kitchens are almost $160,000 more expensive than houses without excellent kitchens. Key influencers' top segments. What influences house price to? Overall up 1.38. In the example below, we look at the impact a continuous factor, year house was remodeled, has on house price. The differences compared to how we analyze continuous influencers for categorical metrics are as follows. Black circle. The scatter plot in the right pane plots the average house price for each distinct value of year remodeled. The value in the bubble shows by how much the average house price. 85. Increases, in this case $2,870, when the year the house was remodeled increases by its standard deviation, in this case 20 years. Key influencers. Top segments. What influences house P? On. handvol meer than 0. Finally, in the case of measures, we're looking at the average year a house was built. The analysis is as follows. Black circle the scatter plot in the right pane plots the average house price for each distinct value in the table. The value in the bubble shows by how much the average house price increases, in this case $1,350, when the average year increases by its standard deviation, in this case 30 years. 86. Key influencers. Interpret the results. Top segments. Top segments for numerical targets show groups where the house prices on average are higher than in the overall dataset. For example, below we can see that segment 1 is made up of houses where garage cars, number of cars the garage can fit, is greater than 2 and the roof style is hip. Houses with those characteristics have an average price of $355,000 compared to the overall average in the data, which is $180,000. Use smart narrative summaries in your reports to address key takeaways, to point out trends, and to edit the language and format for a specific audience. In PowerPoint, instead of pasting a screenshot of your report's key takeaways, you can add narratives that are updated with every refresh. You can use the summaries to understand the data, get to key points faster, and explain the data to others. Get started. How to use smart narratives is described below. The Smart Narrative. Choose the Products tab. Then select the Smart Narrative icon in Visualizations pane to automatically generate a summary. Visualizations. Build visual. X. PY. 27. Smart Narratives can automatically generate a summary of the report's visuals that address revenue, website visits, and sales. To generate a smart narrative of a visualization, right-click it and then select Summarize. The smart narrative also shows the expected range of values for these metrics. Edit the summary. The smart narrative summary is highly customizable. You can edit or add to the existing text by using the text box commands. For example, you can make the text bold or change its color. Seego UI. Plus value. 12. A. B. Review. To customize the summary or add your own insights, use dynamic values. You can map text to existing fields in measures or use natural language to define a new measure to map to text. To format a dynamic value, select the value in the summary to see your editing options on the Review tab. Or in the text box, next to the value that you want to edit, select the Edit button. Value. Review. Review and edit the values in your narrative. Revenue. Show auto-generated values. Close. You can also use the Review tab to review, delete, or reuse previously defined values. Select the plus sign, plus, to insert the value into the summary. You can also show automatically generated values by turning on the option at the bottom of the Review tab. Sometimes a hidden summary symbol appears in the smart narrative. It indicates that current data and filters produce no result for the value. A summary is empty when no insights are available. Hidden summary symbols are visible only when you try to edit a summary. Visual interactions. A summary is dynamic. It automatically updates the generated text and dynamic values when you cross-filter. For example, if you select electronics products in the sample file's donut chart, the rest of the report is cross-filtered, and the summary is also cross-filtered to focus on the electronics products. 90. You can also do more advanced filtering. For example, in the sample file, look at the visual of trends for multiple products. If you're interested only in a trend for a certain quarter, then select the relevant data points to update the summary for that trend. Smart Narratives picks the most interesting things to summarize about the visual. Smart Narratives generates up to 4 summaries per visual and up to 16 per page. The summaries that are generated for a page depend on the location and size of visuals, and it avoids generating the same kind of summaries for different visuals. Therefore, summarizing just the visual can generate more summaries that aren't present while summarizing the whole page. Considerations and limitations. The Smart Narrative feature doesn't support the following functionality: black circle pinning to a dashboard, black circle using dynamic values and conditional formatting, for example, data-bound title, black circle publish to web, black circle Power BI report server, on-premises analysis services, live connection to Azure Analysis Services or SQL Server Analysis services, multidimensional analysis services data sources, key influencers visual with a categorical metric or unsummarized numerical field as analyze field from a table that contains more than one primary key, O without a primary key, and measures or aggregates as explained by fields. Black circle map visual with non-aggregated latitude or longitude. Multi-row card with more than 3 categorical fields. Black circle cards with non-numeric measures. Black circle tables, matrices, R visuals or Python visuals, custom visuals. Summaries of visuals whose columns are grouped by other columns in. For visuals that are built on a data group field. Cross-filtering out of a visual. 92. Renaming dynamic values or editing automatically generated dynamic values. Black circle summaries of visuals that contain on-the-fly calculations like Q&A arithmetic, complex measures such as percentage of grand total and measures from extension schemas. Practical. 1. Describe artificial intelligence workloads and considerations. Artificial intelligence, AI, is computers thinking and acting in a way that simulates a human. AI is a technology that takes information from its environment and responds based on what it learns. The goal of AI is to create a machine that can mimic human behavior. AI is more than learning, it is knowledge representation, reasoning, and abstract thinking. Machine learning, ML, is the subset of AI that takes the approach of teaching computers to learn for themselves, rather than teaching computers all that they need to know. ML is the foundation for modern AI. ML focuses on identifying and making sense of the patterns and structures in data. ML is about machines reasoning and decision-making using software that learns from past experiences. ML allows computers to consistently perform repetitive and well-defined tasks that are difficult for humans to accomplish. Over the past few years, machine learning algorithms have proved that computers can learn tasks that are tremendously complicated for machines, demonstrating that ML can be employed in a wide range of scenarios and industries. AI is now being embedded into the software you use today, sometimes without us realizing it. For example, Microsoft PowerPoint has a feature called Design Ideas that offers suggestions for themes and layouts for slides, and Microsoft Word offers suggestions to rewrite sentences to improve clarity. 2. Identifying features of common AI workloads. Artificial intelligence is software that mimics human behaviors and capabilities. Today, software can use AI to automatically detect and predict actions that machines and humans should take. Microsoft Azure provides a set of services for artificial intelligence and machine learning that you can utilize to create your own intelligent solutions. Microsoft Azure AI Fundamentals is a certification that requires you to have entry-level knowledge of AI and ML concepts and knowledge of the related Microsoft Azure services. 3. This skill covers how to A. Describe Azure services for AI and ML. B. Understand Azure machine learning. C. Understand Azure cognitive services. D. Describe the Azure Bot service. E. Identify common AI workloads. A. Describe Azure services for AI and ML. There is a wide and rapidly growing series of services in Azure for AI and ML. Cognitive services, a set of pre-built services that you can easily use in your applications. Azure Bot Service, a service to help create and deploy chatbots and intelligence agents. Azure Machine Learning, a broad range of tools and services that allow you to create your own custom AI. We will be exploring some of the features and capabilities of these three services. However, these services do not work in isolation. They utilize many other Azure services to deliver solutions such as the following. Storage 94. Compute, Web Apps, HD Insights, Data Factory, Cosmos DB, Azure Functions, Black Circle Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS. To explain how Azure services support Azure machine learning, consider the scenario of a company that wants to provide recommendations to its users. By providing personalized targeted recommendations, users will more likely purchase more of their products and user satisfaction will increase. Fig 2.1 shows an example of an ML architecture to support recommendations. Fig 2.1. Example of ML architecture. B. Understand Azure Machine Learning. Azure Machine Learning is the foundation for Azure AI. In Azure Machine Learning, you can build and train AI models to make predictions and inferences. Training a machine learning model requires lots of data and lots of computing resources. Azure provides many services for preparing data and then analyzing the data. C. Azure ML is a platform for training, deploying, and managing machine learning models. C. Machine learning model types. Machine learning makes use of algorithms to identify patterns in data and take action. The types of machine learning models created from the outputs of the algorithms are as follows. A. Anomaly detection finds unusual occurrences. B. Classification classifies images or predicts between several categories. C. Clustering, including K-means clustering, discovers structures. D. Regression predicts values. D. Understand Azure cognitive services. Cognitive Services is a suite of pre-built AI services that developers can use to build AI solutions. Cognitive Services meets common AI requirements and allow you to add AI to your apps more quickly with less expertise. Cognitive Services are machine learning models trained by Microsoft with massive volumes of data. While you can build your own custom AI models to perform the same analyses, Cognitive Services allow you to meet many AI requirements easily around processing images and analyzing text. However, Cognitive Services only address a subset of AI requirements. You can create your own machine learning models to meet more complex and specific needs. A. Cognitive Services are available as a set of REST APIs for the following capabilities. B. Computer vision, including images and video. C. Decision, including anomaly detector. D. Language, including text analysis and language understanding. E. Speech, including translation. F. Intelligent search, including knowledge mining. Cognitive Services have a broad and growing range of features and capabilities. The Azure AI Fundamentals exam focuses on two of these capabilities. A. Image processing. B. Natural language processing, NLP. 96. A great example of the use of Cognitive Services is the free Seeing Owl app that uses these two capabilities. Designed for visually impaired people, this app turns the physical environment into an audible experience, locating faces, identifying objects, and reading documents. Seeing Owl. Talking camera for the banned Microsoft Corpora. Screenshots. Documents. People. Products. Short text. Fig, the Seeing AI app. E. Describe the Azure Boot Service. The Azure Bot Service is a cloud-based platform for developing, deploying, and managing bots. Azure Bot Services provide the capabilities known as conversational AI. Conversational AI is where the computer simulates a conversation with a user or customer. Conversational AI has extended beyond simple chatbots to intelligence agents and virtual assistants like Cortana. There are two conversational AI services included in the Azure AI. Q&A Maker, a tool to build a bot using existing support and other documentation. Black Circle Azure Bot Service tools to build, test, deploy, and manage bots. Both Q&A Maker and the Azure Bot Service leverage the language understanding, LUIS, service in Cognitive Services. 97. Identify common AI workloads. There are many use cases for AI. Here we will look at some common AI workloads, describing their features and providing some examples for their use. F. Conversational AI. Conversational AI is the process of building AI agents to take part in conversations with humans. Conversational AI is commonly experienced by humans as chatbots on websites and other systems. AI agents, bots, engage in conversations, dialogues, with human users. Bots use natural language processing to make sense of human input, identify the actions the human wants to perform, and identify the entity on which the actions are to be performed. Bots can prompt the human for the information required to complete a transaction. There are three common types of bot that you may encounter. Web chat. Filled square telephone voice menus, IVR. Personal digital assistants. 3. Describe fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure. Machine learning, ML, is the current focus of AI in computer science. Machine learning focuses on identifying and making sense of the patterns and structures in data and using those patterns in software for reasoning and decision-making. ML uses past experiences to make future predictions. ML allows computers to consistently perform repetitive and well-defined tasks that are difficult to accomplish for humans. Over the past few years, machine learning algorithms have proved that computers can learn tasks that are tremendously complicated for machines and have demonstrated that ML can be employed in a wide range of scenarios and industries. This chapter explains machine learning algorithms such as clustering, classification, and regression. The chapter then explains how machine 98 terms of organizing datasets and applying algorithms to train a machine learning model. The chapter then looks at the process of building a machine learning model and the tools available in Azure. 4. Describe features of computer vision workloads on Azure. Computer vision is an area of artificial intelligence where software systems are designed to perceive the world visually using cameras, images, and video. The challenge here is that humans and computers see different things when they look at the same object. Where a human sees an apple object, a machine sees an array of pixel values, image color data. To give machines a higher-level understanding of what the image data represents, we use pixel values as numeric features to train a machine learning model. This model behaves like a pattern detection function, mapping computer-friendly features, pixel values, into human-friendly labels, objects, attributes, in a probabilistic manner. When we feed an input image to this model, it can now predict a relevant label with an associated confidence value. In some sense, we have taught the computer to see the image the way humans would. 5. Describe features of natural language processing, NLP, workloads on Azure. Natural language processing, NLP, has many uses: sentiment analysis, topic detection, language detection, key phrase extraction, and document categorization. Specifically, you can use NLP to black circle classify documents. For instance, you can label documents as sensitive or spam. Do subsequent processing or searches. You can use NLP output for these purposes. Summarize text by identifying the entities that are present in the document. Black circle tag documents with keywords. For the keywords, NLP can use identified entities. Black circle do content-based search and retrieval. Tagging makes this functionality possible. 9. Summarize a document's important topics. NLP can combine identified entities into topics. Categorize documents for navigation. For this purpose, NLP uses detected topics. Enumerate related documents based on a selected topic. For this purpose, NLP uses detected topics. Score text for sentiment. By using this functionality, you can assess the positive or negative tone of a document.